Good morning, dear students. As we are doing the revisions for your midterm exam, this is the part 2 revision. So let us recall once again the all the important points which are covered in the syllabus. So name the territories conquered by Nagabhatta 1. Which are the territories he covered? Malwa and Bharuch. So when writing the answers, please make sure that write the spellings properly and especially handwriting neatly. Next question. What was the capital of Rashtrakutas? Malkhed, Malkhed was the capital of the Rashtrakutas, Malkhed. What do you understand by Brahmadeyas? Brahmadeyas were the land grants given by the kings to Brahmanas and the temples for their development. Next, who were vassals of Pratiharas? The Chahamans were the vassals of the Pratiharas. So next question is describe the main features of Chola administration. So what were the main feature characteristics of the Chola administration or highlights of the Chola administration was how their administration has been divided. So the main features of Chola administration were as follows. How the king was the head of the state, first point, and who was assisted by a council of minister. This is first point. So the king was head of the state or the empire. Under him, council of ministers were assisting him in all the matters like accounts, administration, office, then court cases, then public problems, agricultural activities, tax, reforms, everything. So all the matters related to the empire was assisted and related to suggestions. Verification was done by the Council of Ministers and finally it was reached to the king. So, first point is the king was the head of the state and who was assisted by the Council of Ministers. So, first point I said king was there, king was ruling the head of the state and under him assistants like Council of Ministers were there. Next point, he was appointed officials like Penunandram and the are higher officials. They are called higher officials and Sirutaram are lower officials. And these two officials, this is higher officials and the lower officials were paid what? Land grants for their work. And the Chola Empire was divided into Mandalam and it was governed, taken care by, ruled by family members of the kings, that is Cholas family. Third point. Fourth point, again the mandalas were divided into Valanadus or districts. Valanadus is nothing but districts. Further, these districts were divided into Nadus and the group of villages made one Nadu. So, one Nadu is equal to more than 50, 30 to 40 villages it considers. So, Nadus is nothing but a group of villages makes one Nadu. And agriculture was main occupation during Chola administration and main emphasis, importance was given to the agricultural activities like irrigation facilities and construction of canals, wells, and ponds. So, water facilities they used to provide for the farmers in order to grow very well the crops and improve the agricultural activities was the main features of home Chola administration. Describe the Chola village assemblies. How the village in the village during Chola administration, how the assemblies were going to happen. So that whatever the activities they used to conduct as a village in the village assemblies. So they were responsible for the irrigational facilities as I said before, and they were also responsible for constructing and maintaining of large water tanks, which were used to collect rainwater and also built canals, tanks, dams, and wells. Why? In order to improve the agricultural activities. Question. Briefly explain reason for agricultural development during Chola's period. For that, you need to write the land revenue was an important source for the income for whom the Cholas. So, what they did, how this income were used as the state share was fixed to be one third of the produce. Whatever the land revenue they have received as a form of income by the Cholas kings, they divided this income as a for the state improvement. So what they did, for example, out of 100 rupees if they have, in that one third portion was fixed for the uh, state share was fixed to be the one third of the produce. So whatever the agricultural produce, the farmers have been grown the crops that in that one third was given to the state administration. Then land surveys are classified based on what? Quality. After that, the amount of revenue was provided. So agriculture was important occupation they had developed, and special attention was given to improving the irrigational facilities. The question is briefly explain the reasons for agricultural development during the Chola period and what are the factors contributed to its productivity. So why they have given the agricultural development? Because the revenue which they were getting was majorly from the agricultural and the taxation. So taxation where they used to get from the agriculture. So if they develop agriculture directly, they will get the amount in the form of taxation. So they give importance for the agricultural activities. That's the reason. Next, who was the founder of slave dynasty? Qutb bin Aibak was the founder of slave dynasty. What were their main sources? During Delhi Sultanates, taxes were a major sources of income during the Delhi Sultanates. What is Tariq? Other than inscription, coins, and documents, whichever they have written the histories in the form of history that have been maintained. So those records were called Tariq. So coming to the next question, describe the economic reforms which was made by Firoz Shah Tughlaq in order to strengthen his financial status or in order to increase the financial finance. What he did, Firoz Shah Tughlaq reorganized, modified the taxation policy, first point. And he not only reduced the taxes in the Doab region, but he abolished the numerous taxes. Number of taxes was being reduced. So first point is Firoz Shah Tughlaq reorganized or modified the taxation policy. First point. Second point, he reduced the taxes which was collected in the Doab region. The number of taxes he was reduced, and even he abolished, he removed. Then the people only used to pay the four taxes that were approved by the Islam as per the Islamic law, which was that Kharaj, that is land revenue, Kamas, state share of loot, then acquired during the war, and Sijya, that is tax on non-Muslims, and zakat, giving aims to the poor. These were the four. So Firoz Shah reorganized taxation policy or modified, and he removed number of taxes which was collected in the Doab region, and he made four taxes mainly, which was that land revenue and state share of loot acquired during the war, and Sijya, tax on non-Muslims, and zakat, that is giving aims to the poor. They have to one portion, certain portion of the amount is to be given to the poor people. Next, what do you understand by Deen-i-Ilahi? Deen-Ilahi was a new religion which was ordered by the Akbar. But it was not a new religion, rather a moral code, with having a moral code thought based on the belief that believing that in one God and universal, which is applied to all our fraternity and mutual respect and peace and values in order to have in the empire, he made it this Deen I Ilahi as an order where all the religious headers used to gather over there and discuss the good practices of the particular region, so which that are accepted by all the religions. What measures were taken by Akbar to resolve the Mughal Rajput rivalry? So the measures taken by Akbar to resolve the Mughal Rajput rivalry are, so the Rajput leaders were given an offer or a proposal, important post in the administration and even the military system of the Mughals. Then Akbar entered into have made matrimonial alliances with more than one Rajput rulers. So this marriage proposal he kept in front of the Rajputs, and he let most Rajput kings to retain control over their kingdoms, and in return for recognizing him as a supremacy of a Mughal empire. In order to be a head of the empire, he does not involve in any of the matters related to Rajput kings. He was considered as a supremacy of the Mughal empire. These were the three measures which was taken by Akbar in order to solve the conflict between the Mughal and the Rajput rivalry. So, dear students, please, whatever the answers is been given to you, please make in a notebook, write it once and read it thoroughly and be prepared. Simply don't write as you know whatever comes to your mind. Many of you are doing that answers have been copied from the Google. You can do, but at least you should know what I am writing and how much I need to write, what is the marks that you need to consider before writing. So please make sure that this video is going to helpful for you to read for the exam. Still, those who have not completed the notes, please complete it. And once whatever the videos have been sent based on the revisions, please make a note of it in your homework book and read it. Thank you.